I see 5 thumbs up, but hello, 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 everyone, and welcome to the Garden Quilt and Art Show. And you see, I changed my name around. I had to look at it myself. Unbiased LLC. How are you doing, my dear Nieta? It is. I want to thank everybody for giving the thumbs up on your way in. And I hope that you will all be safe. I would like to thank the moderators, people in the bushes. A lot of people are getting ready we are having a huge, a blizzard, a blizzard tomorrow, tomorrow afternoon. I had to break the news to my mom because I won't be able to go there in the bad weather. And I could see she was disappointed. She was saying, well, it won't be until the night. But the thing is, what if the weatherman changes his mind and it comes ahead of time? I don't want to be I've been caught in black ice. Some of you have heard me tell that story before in the Cumberland Plateau in Tennessee. That was not fun. I don't want to do that one again. So I'm trying to get through the ads. Thank you for watching them, y'all. Maria Graham, I see that you were the first one in earlier. I couldn't get over to it. T Hop Anthony, thank you for coming. Why? Because good friends become family, and family is everything. Everything, everything, everything. Speaking of blizzards, this will be. I'll let you know when we end today, but it will be short, but it won't be over until it's over. So wait until the end because I have something special to show you that you won't see on anyone else's channel. So I changed. I changed what we were actually going to be doing tonight. We were going to be making a portable design wall. And as luck will have it, when you go live, something always goes wrong. This is what we were going to make our design wall out of. I have had this since last April. Why? Because that's what my Cutie Breeze frame came in. And I had it cut, had it reinforced with cardboard. I'll just tell you what happened. I bought a black and white vinyl tablecloth. I've seen other quilt shop. Hey Jags, thanks for coming and welcome, welcome, welcome. I've seen whole quilt shops make a design wall, which you can easily do, out of just a vinyl tablecloth with flannel on the inside. And the thing about the flannel, you guys, is that quilt blocks will stick to it naturally. No pins, no nothing. But we will do something different. I didn't like the black and white poking through there. And so I'm going to recut some what I usually use for all of my design walls, and that's some cotton 80/20 batting, which is expensive. I was trying to be cheap. But why am I going to do a portable design wall? Because I might want to take my generator, go to the park and do some sewing, arts and crafts. Sometimes I want to turn my blocks around upside down. Oh yeah, you see I changed this. This is my grandpa's quilt. I'll show you. I'll move out of the way in a minute. Excuse me. And show you. It's an original quilt. I call it improvisational, meaning that I made it up. I made all the designs up. And well, I'll show you in a minute, in a couple minutes. And this block and these 2 blocks were made out of his shirt. Why am I telling you that? Because you don't need a whole lot of fabric to make a memory quilt. You just need something of theirs. Thank you for being stuck in the ads, Mike. I will be stuck in the snow tomorrow. We're getting 18 inches. You guys, tell me real quick in the chat where you're coming in from and what is the temperature there. Meanwhile, I'm going to get started showing you some functional art. Sewing does not have to be just quilts. For those of you who say that I don't want to make a quilt, you don't have to make a quilt. You can just make something that has another person's something in it for it to be a memory. I would show you something. I never have anything because as soon as I finish my things, they go right out the door, right out the door. Maria, I do have something of yours that will be going out when I get through that snow pile at the post office on Monday. You know it's going to be a lot of snow when your physical therapist calls you on a Saturday and they didn't even have your number before to tell you. I'm like, hello, Kyle. Are you calling to tell me that you're not working on Monday? Nobody will be working on Monday in this part of Connecticut. Oh, I know. I was going to tell you the story. It was once upon a time, long, long ago. The year was 2008. How do I remember? Because my only great grandson was born on February 16th, and my dad passed on February 22nd, which happens to be my only granddaughter's birthday. But it's a good day because we celebrate it as a family day, and that's how we connect to Gaga, to Grandpa, up there at the pearly gates. Maria said they had, what, 80 degrees? That's disrespectful. Ah, Mike said, Mike said, Minnesota, 18 degrees, high wind. Well, a blizzard, you guys, is wind over, I think, 30 miles an hour for over 3 hours. So let me tell you about the story about why I remember my hidden tissue, why I remember the blizzard of 2008. There was also one in I think 1995 when I was in DC. And hey, Nancy Archridge at home, thank you for coming and welcome. Because the same thing happened in that year. I came to Connecticut for, of course, my dad's passing, and I had a little Hershey. No, no, no. Stop. I had a PT Cruiser, and I parked it in my mom's driveway next to a 6-foot retaining wall. My dad had stone walls built around the property. So this wall was like 6 feet tall, and it was on the far side of the driveway, and I backed in and parked in the driveway beside it. Well, when the wind blew, it blew it across the top of the car. We couldn't even find my car in the snowdrift. It took about 2 weeks to get dug out and get on the road and get back to North Carolina to my animals and everything. And when I got back to North Carolina, all the greenery was coming up. You know, the crops were planted in North Carolina, all like Maria is saying, all green in the high temperature. Well, yeah, yeah. In 1995, I parked my car, and it was a Cadillac, a big old Fleetwood Brougham, and I think we had like a 4-foot fence in front of the house. I parked my car on the street in front of the house that day, and the snow was over the top of the fence. You could just walk right over the top of the fence to get dug out. Well, those are my snow stories. Let's talk about some functional art. Functional art is anything that you make that can be used for another purpose other than just looking at it. For example, and I did change some of my things around in here. Why? Because daylight savings time will be over in 2 weeks on March, I think March 8th. And 2 weeks after that will be spring. So I put my wreath up there with all the flowers on it. I was trying to rush spring along. The quilt in back of me, which I will show you in a few minutes, Grandpap's quilt. It's the coal miner's granddaughter. That's the name of this quilt because my mom's family owned a walk-in coal mine in Pennsylvania, and this grandfather worked in a coal mine all of his life. When he finally passed in 1980 at age, I think about 85, he died and he passed of black lung. So that's why I made the quilt with dark colors because of the coal and the coal mines in the family. Oh, Maria, I'm gonna get you. Thank you, Maria. I'm working with it. It'll change next week. I get a retwist, but it's my hair is so fuzzy. I don't have to worry about it falling in my eyes because it's all tangled up, and that's just how it is. Let's talk about some functional art. Okay. Oh, I see. I started making another one. This is a composition book. Why am I calling it art? Because it's too pretty just to be a cover. GT Junior grows in Alaska. Hey, how are you? I've been seeing you on TV. I saw you today, as a matter of fact, for a couple minutes, but I did get back. But what I wanted to show you about making a book cover, this one happens to be a composition book. And I have a built in leather, yes, it's real leather, pen pocket. And I have a real leather page marker. That's one of my little things because when I sell my things, the little tips are how you make your money. If you're gifting it to someone, that also makes it worthy of it. But what I wanted to show you about this, and this is mud cloth, is that you can use this for a Bible cover. I see a lot of you studying your Bibles. A lot of you have a Bible. A lot of you carry your Bibles to church. A lot of the people who make these use them for Bible covers. I give them to people in my church. Let's find something else that is functional art. I know you've seen this, and this was a class that I teach, a class that I teach. And this was pre-quilted fabric. And I just put a pocket on, actually, just a pocket on the inside. I made a tie on it. It has it has a stabilized bottom in it, and it's lightweight and it's functional. You walk down the street with this on, nobody will ever have a bag like this. Why? Because although this was my pattern, an original pattern of my own, everybody decorates theirs their own way. Did I say hi, Jags? If I missed anybody, I apologize. I'm just rushing through this because I wanted to make this about an hour, but I wanted to show you some genuine things that I think you would like that nobody will have and you won't see on anyone else's channel. Okay, now this bag is really big. This is another class that I teach. I'm not hawking classes tonight, but anybody that wants to take a Zoom class, let me know. This is a duffel bag, a 24-inch bag. I like This is just my personal taste. I like heavy duty metal zippers in mine. I dog my bags out. This was a pre quilted fabric, it was reversible, but I dog my bags. I've had this bag, I want to say at least 11, 12 years, and it's just like new. One of the little details when I make my bags, I put a little pull at the end so that when I zip it, I have something to hold on to. I use my sewing machine with the decorative stitches, and when I put my binding, my handmade binding on here, maybe I should slow down so that you can see it. That's why I was trying to fix my brother machine that has 100 decorative stitches, because this was one of the stitches that I like putting putting decorative stitches on my bags. So this one has a pocket on both ends. The only reason I still have this one is because I used my embroidery machine, not this one, a different one I had at that time, and I embroidered my name on it. This one also has a reinforced heavy duty bottom on the inside. The straps go all the way around, but I wanted to show you this detail. This is real leather on the inside of here, and it's a very big strap. You put it over your shoulder. I made one for Uncle Roscoe like this one. It has his name embroidered on it, and it's red. He likes red. And at the time, I used to have chickens, so I had some chickens on it, like modern art chickens, and it was really, really cute. Let me see if I can look in the chat and see what you guys are saying. You guys can still see me and hear me, right? Because the weather is getting real crazy already. Mike says it's definitely hard art. Speaking to our treasure home. Hey, PIA, in the bushes, hanging out for Demia's birthday party. Tell Demia, Auntie Ellen said hello and happy birthday, everybody in March. Happy birthday to ya. Happy birthday to ya. I'm going to miss my granddaughter's birthday tomorrow. Why? Because her birthday is February 22nd. And that's tomorrow. And my son's birthday, my baby, will be 55 on the 24th. He doesn't mind me telling his age. This guy is an incredible shape, you all. He has a black belt in capoeira. And some of you who are on my Facebook channel, oh, Maria said you can hear me, on my Facebook channel or my IG, you see him doing all these flips and back springs and everything. He bench presses like several hundred pounds, 350. He does reps. He squats leg presses, I mean, 600 pounds. That's why you don't see me doing, well, I exercise, yes, but I do my thing my way. I need to get back to Tai Chi because it made me incredibly flexible and have less pain. L Triple G Love, thank you for coming and welcome. I I didn't repot your elephant ear you gave me today, but I put soil to the top to add to it, and the next thing I will enlarge it. But I didn't want to disturb the roots too much. Back to some more functional art. Oh, and this is just rough applique with the sewing machine, meaning that I just cut a shape out. I put some double sided adhesive on the back. My sister hates those green lips. I like her. She's different. She's no different. And I just stitched around the outside and held my girl down. Now, the class that I taught years ago Hey, Sissy Joanne Stevens. Thank you for coming and welcome, welcome, welcome. Donzel Cooper, thank you for coming and welcome, welcome, welcome. I, PIA can't speak individually, but because she's giving her granddaughter a birthday party. I'm going to see if I can make this bigger. The stupid thing isn't working. Oh, finally. That is a little bit bigger so that you could see more quilts and things. Well, one of the back classes that I taught one of my friends. And because she didn't, this fabric is actually kind of pricey, that double-sided fabric. We cut some of her fabric out and I gave her some of my charm squares. They were 5 inches and she made her own straps. These you can buy webbing or you can make your own. I like to make my own. That big duffel bag had handmade straps with leather on the inside that I had upcycled from an old coat or something. So she sewed all these 5 inch blocks together and then she reinforced them. There's no stabilizer inside because when you do a lot of fabric like this, just by mere virtue of stitching close together, the stitching reinforces it. Like if you have small pieces of fabric sewn together, that holds them together. And she put a button on the front of this one. You can detail them any way you want. Once you can make a basic bag, you can make it out of anything. I have made a gazillion, Hershey stop, a gazillion denim bags, but as soon I don't even own a denim bag my own self. I keep saying I'm going to make one, but I never, as soon as I make it and somebody wants it, Auntie Ellen dances for dollars. That bag is gone. Roscoe and Joanne laugh. They say, well, Sissy said she's keeping that one. She's not going to keep it. She's not going to keep it. And this one, you see where she has her handmade label on the inside. She gifted this to me when I moved to Connecticut, but I changed the bottom that she put in it. You know why? She and some of the other students in my class, and I wanted to show you this because you can hand stitch. You can hand stitch these things. Some of the other students, they put plexiglass in it. They thought they were being fancy. One of the other ladies in our guild, who was very small and statured, she bumped into the doorway frame, and the plexiglass, it cracked a rib. But she has also sneezed, and broken a rib. Mother, I'll have to show you this next week. You guys, I talked to her twice today because I had to call her back and tell her that I won't be racing the blizzard tomorrow. And she's sitting up there in her nursing rehab with like a velour warm up suit on, and she had her turban on and her lipstick on. On the days that she doesn't feel well, she doesn't have her lipstick on. So I try to charm her up when she feels, oh, mom, there's my mother. She's back. Hey, my Renaissance grandma. How you doing, sis? Thank you for coming and welcome. I'm just going to show you guys some things that you can make. Those of you who, thank you. Some of you who may want to sew or make something, doesn't have to be for yourself. I started making gifts for people, my friends and family who've been on their jobs forever, didn't need anything. They say, I don't want anything. Donzel is saying, hey, Mr. Hershey. Hey, Vanessa, my Renaissance grandma. So this one is handmade, but I wanted to show you this face on here This is her personal logo. And her son is a graphic designer. He digitized it unbiased. I know you're in the background, your ears burning. Her son digitized this, and he also digitized a logo for me. Actually, I'll let you look at Grandpap's quilt one minute while I get up and get something to show you from the coal miner's granddaughter. Let me see. Excuse me. I wanted to show you while I'm up this improvisational quilt. So it's about 45 inches by 64 because this is my personal quilt and I'm 63.5 inches. So this will cover my little chunky butt up when I'm sitting down. And it goes down here. And these are all made up blocks. These are blocks I just made up. Some are half square triangles. All these, I just made blocks up and put them together. Why? Because that's what I do. These were 4 patches. I just sewed them together and I wanted to make them look like the kind of fabrics they had back then and to make it so that it wasn't too foo-foo. He wasn't a foo-foo kind of guy. Unbiased is looking. She's looking. Now, to show you what my friend's son digitized, yes, unbiased, and it'll fit on this baby lock. It was designed on another one, but this is, I hadn't put GQUAT traditions. I just put the word traditions. Why? Because I want each person to have their own traditions, whether it is gardening, quilting, sewing, did I say cooking from scratch, sewing, and just making anything and embellishing clothing. You can see the stitches on the embroidery machine in the back, and I just darkened them with a pen so that you could see it in the front. Now this was for one of my smaller hoops. I've always had a machine with a large. I have a big. I'll show you. Unbiased is gonna look at me. She says, Unbiased is gonna say, Nanny, get going, get going. I'm pedaling as fast as I can, y'all. I'm 77 years old. Oh, you like Grandpa's quilt? Sissy, that's that extra block that I gave you. This is, I don't know what size hoop, but this was something I was messing around with. But so I can embroider some pretty big things on my embroidery machine. But it's like the kid with too many marbles. You can't play with them all the time. This is another digitized. This is why I wear black or neutral colors so that when I'm holding my artwork up against, you can see it. So this was my logo for Traditions because that's a family tree in the middle with 2 sets of hands. You know, like I talk about my grandma's hands. Well, these are just family hands holding it up. And her son digitized this for me. And this is what it can look like on the back. But we were just trying things. Just trying things. What I want to do is encourage you guys to just make something. And Auntie Joanne just loves anything her sister makes. And in fact, my baby sister was throwing some shade. Della was asking me about a quilt or something. I was nagging about a really nice quilt that I'd gifted my baby sister. And she said, well, how many quilts does Joanne have? Ask Joanne. And then I was like, why are you throwing shade? And Joanne is always with me more often. Hey, the Nichols 13, thanks for coming and welcome, welcome, welcome. Something as small as this could be functional art. You know what it is? It's a tissue holder, something very simple to make. I just used a scrap of fabric because it was colorful, and you can see how easy. Well, my sister said don't say simple, but it's just like one piece of fabric with a couple of seams. You sew around the edges after you fold it, turn them inside out. I have it written down what size to cut them. And then you have a nice tissue holder for inside. Now, me, I love batiks. I spent the first, I want to say about 60 years of my life sewing regular fabrics, traditional fabric, feed sacks that I made some of my quilts out of. Actually, the backing on this one, I took her down. This is Miss Mignon up close with African fabric and her cowrie shell necklace for those who never saw her up close. I forgot that you didn't. But I wanted you to see the do you see the sides? Every one of these purple blocks is a different color batik. I handmade all of those all of those blocks. And the back of this is a feed sack that I actually found somewhere in North Carolina. And I put it on the back. And it has a hanging sleeve. But I don't like that hanging sleeve. Sorry, Miss Mignon, I wasn't throwing you around. So I showed you this. I have a couple of more things I want to show you. Oh, speaking of feed sacks, Janet, Janet, oh, almost homesteading with Janet. I told her if she sent me two feed sacks, I would make her a feed sack bag and I would keep one for myself so that I would have one to teach. This one is just webbing, and she sent it from Indiana, a feed store there, and it had some chickens on it. Her bag was different than mine. Now, I used to make them out of goat feed. I don't make them out of dog food or cat food bags, though. You know why? Because the bags that have a lot of protein have a bad smell. Ugh, I don't like it. It's like I won't say like rotten meat, but if it's had meat in it, it's going to when it's hot and putrefied, that's what's going to happen. What's going to happen? Sorry, I'm not highlighting the names, you guys, because I was trying to keep the screen big so that I could show you some of this functional art. Why? Because Auntie Ellen is more than 75 years old and you're watching Living History. It's Black History Month and Black history is American history. So I'm sharing my history with you guys. Now, going back to the double sided reversible fabric, this bag I can show you on the inside. This one has pockets all around. I also put a magnetic snap on it. But you see what happened? The mag sorry. You see what happened? The magnetic snap wasn't strong enough to hold all the stuff I had in here. So then I also put a tie on here. So it's got a reinforced bottom and pockets all around the inside, deep pockets on the outside. These two pockets, these pockets. The name of this pattern was actually called Pockets of Plenty. My cell phone pocket in the back, and you see this little detail? This is a piece of real leather on the outside. Our treasured home says yes, it is living history. Somebody just Mike just ate a donut. Mike, I have some bananas over there to make some banana bread for tomorrow. Oh, and some little fancy buttons. Oh, again, is this that same stitch? Yeah, this is a decorative stitch on that little brother machine that I hate so bad, but I love the decorative stitches. And this was one of my favorite ones, as you see. The only reason I still have this bag, because my name is on it. All right. Now this is a crossbody denim bag. And all it is, it was a pair of men's jeans. It was real fancy. And when I was teaching this class, I just kept this one for myself. But to see what I do on here, and it could be real leather or faux leather. Every bag that I make has some type of leather, real leather trim on it. You can take one old coat that you found at the secondhand store, and you can literally make hundreds of bags out of it. Now, this one is like, why does she have orange on the front? And this tie, small bags, I like to put a tie in. Why? Because you could put almost anything in here. You could put so much stuff. And I put a piece of African fabric on the back. Why? Because I like it. I like it. You want some banana bread? My mother likes banana bread. They eat it like cake. But oh, I think I showed you the chocolate cake that my granddaughter made for my great grandson on his birthday on Monday. No, what is today? Today's Saturday. Yeah, so I must have showed it to you on Thursday. Everybody cooks in my family. And I'll get into the chat in a minute. Now, this is the pièce de résistance. This is a bag I will never sell. This one was so much work. This bag, let me show you. This bag is made out of clothesline rope. Clothesline rope and 2.5-inch strips. Was it a jelly roll? Yes and no. It was not a jelly roll that was purchased. This was out of my stash, my own fabrics, and I hand cut them. This really beautiful button that I have on the front was gifted to me by Auntie Joanne Stevens. The leather on this bag is so soft. It's like goat skin leather. It's really soft. And I had forgotten how to braid. I had forgotten how to braid. People say, "Well, didn't you have a daughter?" I said, "Yeah, but I was so young. By the time I started doing this, she was so old. I forgot how to braid hair." So one of the ladies in my quilting class, who either had horses or a long ponytail herself, showed me how to braid again. And now, what this handle is, unbiased, and those of you who are making bags, this is a 2.5-inch strip that I folded over and sewed. Like I show sometimes when I'm making straps, but this has a little bit of batting in it, a little strip of batting, like when I do my lanyards or my keychains, right? And it's like you can make it any size. This is actually one of my goat bells, my lead goat in North Carolina. This was her bell. Of course, I cleaned it up and just added a handmade key fob to it. But you make this and you make them thick enough, and you braid them. You don't see people with braided straps. But the thing of it is that this takes fabric. This takes time, you guys. Unbiased, I know you'd love those straps. I know it's sister love, baby girl. And this will hold so much. There's no bag like this anywhere in the world. And then you can see where I used, I don't know which, I think I just did a straight. I may have done this on the featherweight because I did it in a class. Unbiased can't speak individually. She's sewing and listening. She works so hard, so hard. And over here, unbiased, this is what I wanted to show you. Remember when you were working on that thick, thick, thick strap? I think it was Tuesday. The same thing happened when I did this. I ended up getting a long upholstery needle with a rounded upholstery needle and upholstery thread, and I hand sewed the ends of these straps onto this bag. Hey Val, the jewelry spot. Thank you for coming and welcome, welcome, welcome. How many of you are expecting snow tomorrow? Oh, and this one I also put a metallic magnetic snap in here. It has built-in pockets on both sides. The reason I'm showing that this is art. The reason I don't sell them, hey Bedazzling Design, she says, hello all. And because when you're making things to sell, you have to get your time back. I bet I have 100 hours in this bag. In this bag. Plus the leather, all this original African fabric. Who's gonna pay you a couple $1,000s for a bag like this? You're not Louis Vuitton. You're not Gucci. They don't want to pay them. L Triple G Love. Anybody that wants to learn how to do this, I will be happy to do a Zoom class. We can do a sew along. We can do it together. But I, I got to get paid when I dance. I got to dance for dollars, right? Ring a ling a ling a ling. We dancing for dollars over here. But this is why it is functional art. When I go to quilt shows and they have an area when you can show things other than quilting that you have sewn, these are some of the things that I display and some of the techniques. I am happy to teach anybody how to make these things, how to make them. Then of course I have more. I'm just getting these up so that they won't get wrinkled. So, do any of you have any questions? Mike is laughing. Everybody's in the bushes. So, I can put this back because I like this. Now it looks more framed in. And I am still working on. Then, of course, I still have to hand sew the binding on this. Some of you are new. Some of you, I'm showing. Those of you who have been here for a while can see this. This took a lot of stitching. A lot of stitching on the back. These only need labels and to have the back pushed down. Auntie Joanne and I made this one. This one is called Sissy and Me. Sissy and Me. And of course, I am. Don't worry, Sissy. I got Roscoe's 2 pillows over there. I've got I've got so many machines in various states of reconditioning. I'm about to put the cutie frame up. I'm reconfiguring everything. You need the family discount class? We can do that. We can do that. Some of the other channels have something called Discord. Discord. We can do that. We can do a Zoom along class. And anybody that would like to learn any of the techniques, I I would probably have quite a few quite a few subscribers if I did a sewing only channel. I don't want to do a sewing only channel. I like telling my fascinating stories and cooking with y'all and embroidering. We're going to do more painting, more of the other arts and crafts because I just have not been doing a lot of all. Hello, Evelyn Warner. Thank you for coming and welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm going to, oh, by the way, those of you who are content creators, put an exclamation mark GQUAT in the chat so that we can get together and see what the others are doing. Hey, Miss Joy, thank you for coming and welcome, welcome, welcome. They had a quilt show in North Carolina today, and there was a guy who was going along the floor that had all the community quilts in it. Miss Joy just reminded me of a community quilt because she does community quilts and things like that. And he was showing quilts from different guilds. Most of them were modern quilts. Most of most of you who are following along, this is an example, sort of a modern art quilt. Auntie Joanne and I participated in an international quilt exhibit that is a virtual exhibit, and it is primarily based in Nigeria. Some of the other tribe members live all over the world: New Zealand, Australia, I think Sweden. There was a lady that came in QuiltCon. Her name is Zaza. I think she came from Sweden. She's not in the Quilt Africa tribe, but we are one. Why? Because good friends become family, and family is everything. So I saw this guy walking around. He did a really good job showing these community quilts. He showed the prices that they were being sold for, and the ones that were not for sale did not have a price on them. And he was walking around, and I said, "Oh, I like seeing a man sewing." And then when I clicked on it, I said, "Oh, I've already subscribed to his channel." He had like 165 subscribers, but I was happy to follow him and to give him a thumbs up. And he must have been in there for a little over an hour, but I haven't been to a quilt show in a very long time. And I certainly could not have done all that walking he was doing unless I took one of my rollators or something where I could sit down in between. Unbiased, of course, you can get the family discount class. Anybody who's family can get the family discount class, and that's what we do here. Miss Joy's one. I'm trying to get to the bottom of the chat. And thank you for being a Friends and Family Club member, Miss Joy's one. And what did I see you doing the other night? Oh my goodness. When you changed it all around and you're doing your creations, yes, I'm having a blessed Saturday, and be glad that you're in California because we're getting a foot and a half of snow again tomorrow. And Miss Joy's one. I just thought of something because you live not too far from my old house, and I want you to go by there one day and take a photo of my rose bushes that I planted there. I want to say in 1990. So, whoa, that's like 35, 36 years ago. Whoa. Because when Auntie Joanne and Uncle Roscoe and I last drove from Phoenix area up to LA, we went by my old house, and it's in Baldwin Hills, but you can see the roof from across Stocker on the other side on View Park, because we had like a terracotta metal roof put on that house, and it's the only one that I've ever seen. I've seen metal roofs, that have the different colors in some of the older houses, but that was just something we did and spent money. Oh, you were just kidding? Oh no, we can do that. We can do that. We can do that. No, no. Everybody who is a family member, a channel member, a subscriber, I don't the public the public dance is not the dance that you all get. That's why I keep my channel small, because why? Good friends become family, and family is everything. Yeah. And all the streets there are one way. Oh, I have to tell you guys a funny story. Most of you know, who've been following me for a while, that I've been married 3 times. Well, this was my third husband in my mine house. We still have. Oh, we're gonna have snow Monday, Maria. Uh, my husband liked heavy breathing cars with big engines, V12s. Vroom. He come home from the clubs at night after work. He owned high rise construction company, and his hobby was drinking and hanging out after work. I was in law school. So Terry says you are on TV. Hello to all. She won't be chatting, but she wanted to say hi. She's in the path of the blizzard too. Oh, Terry, I don't know if you saw. I need your you to email me your phone number and email address, because I have some information for you that I don't want to put, you know, out here with all the weirdos and the trolls in the world. But this channel is fine. So we were driving one day, and my sister and I, and he liked cars that the speedometers went up to like 180, 160, and he just be swooshing up and down. Auntie Joanne said, "Oh, I was riding with Brooks today, and he was doing 160." But I don't think he was actually doing. Look, I'm not sticking up for him anyway, because he's still trying to get in heaven. He's still trying to get in heaven, and I think he might have had the car in kilometers. You know how it switches over in kilometers. But now I'll tell you a story when somebody was going that fast. We just have a few more minutes, you guys, and I'll tell you another fascinating story. So one day, oh, I was one of the few, my husband and I were business partners in the Rebuild LA task force. That was after the LA riots, and there were some of the houses in View Park were burned down. There were there were houses in Baldwin Hills where we lived burned down, and the water pressure was not high enough where the firemen could get up there and put the fires out. Also, there were no telephone wires. The telephone wires were all underground. But anyway, I digress. My dad and I were riding in my I had a Jeep Grand Wagoneer, but it was an old restored car with the lighted running boards to get up in it, like the 3 seats. Oh my God. Joanne said, "No, sissy, he was going that fast up Stalker." And Stalker is a big street going way up. It's like going to Marina Del Rey from down the bottom. The bottom of the hill is the hood, and the top of the hill is 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 like going to Beverly Hills or somewhere where all the money was. Oh, Geodish. Thank you for coming. So, uh, okay, I'll let it stand, sissy. So my sister was riding with my husband. He used to get speeding tickets, but he just pay it and just keep driving. My dad would say, "Well, can he see where he parks his car?" I'm like, "Yeah, he can see, Dad. He just doesn't care. He's a scofflaw." And the only reason we were still married, is because he was Catholic, and he didn't believe in a divorce. I should have been done divorce his behind. But anyway, Daddy and I are driving in this Jeep Grand Wagoneer, this big muscle, big thing. It wasn't a muscle car, big heavy car, right? And I'm looking over, and I think it was around Stocker, Sissy, and I spot a fire engine red Cadillac Alante with the top down. My husband is in the car with some female. Oh, what? I jumped it around all these rows of traffic. I made a U turn. I circled around, cut the car off, and it wasn't my husband. It was somebody that looked just like him, little curly hair, thick mustache. And the man driving the car was so scared. He looked up, he said, Miss, I don't know who your husband is, but I feel sorry for him. I'm glad it wasn't me. I am glad it wasn't me. And my dad said, oh, that's what you were doing? That's what you were doing? Driving like that, trying to catch up with Brooks. I'm like, my dad was like, take me home. I am not riding with you. I am not riding with you anymore. Anymore. But he wasn't doing anything. It wasn't even him. It was not even him. But I thought I see something I should not have seen. Okay. But we have no, yeah, he's gotten speeding tickets doing 108. We were going up Stalker, going to Marina Del Rey, and he got a ticket, and the police officer pulls him over, and he goes, oh, officer, was I going fast? The policeman said, well, we stopped down there. I think it was on La Brea or something. We stopped. Miss Joyce knows these streets. She knows what I'm talking about. And he said, the police officer said, well, I was in back of you back there. And he said, I was doing 90 and you were still pulling away from me, sir. Evelyn Warner's laughing. Said, oh my goodness, woman. I'll say, hell hath no fury like that of a woman scorned. Good thing I wasn't scorned, huh? And y'all know, y'all know it would not have been a good day for bruh man. For bruh man. For bruh man. Because I was probably carrying. I've been for how many years? That was my job. When I lived in Washington D.C., as when I bought a house, I bought a house on the other side of just maybe 4 blocks from the DC line, because as a police officer, you were always on duty. I always would say, well, what do you do with your pew pew when you're at the swimming pool? It was like, figure it out, but you're always on duty. You always have to have it with you. So let's just say it wasn't far. It wasn't far. Do any of you have any more questions about all these functional arts and crafts and things, and anything you would like to see done? Just let me know, and don't forget to drop your you would have paid good good money to have known you in my feisty era. I can get there now, but I'm calmed down now. Oh, it was we had fun, didn't we, Sissy? We had fun. My sister, my sister worked for a major airline for 35 years, and I would show up with a suitcase on wheels with my hot plates in it, an electric fry pan. We would have meals on wheels. We'd have gourmet meals in the hotel. We'd go out, we'd have fun, we'd come back. She would be rolling in, especially in DC. She would be rolling in just in time for her flight to get back out. Just in time. You love the 90 miles an hour and pulling away. He got a ticket 108 in going up El Cajon, going up El Cajon, and and Brooks said, "This is my last funny story." And Brooks was and this guy we're racing, driving. We were going to Vegas. He used to like to gamble as well, and these two idiots were flying. And Brooks said, "Well, who are you waving at?" I'm like, "I'm waving at the helicopter up there trying to pull your dumb A double Z over. That's who I'm waving at." So the helicopter flashing the lights, he pulls over. The guy in the Thunderbird Turbo Diesel pulls over. They both get a ticket. Brooks is over there. Brooks is over there. It's like, "May I see your driver's license and registration?" "Oh, sir, you don't, I don't have it on me right now, but I know my number." I'm like, "Yeah, the number is one." That's how long he's been driving. Miss Joy's one. "Oh, thank you. I'm a dance for you, Miss Joy. Hold on. Hold on." Okay. Yeah, baby. You know how the TV, how YouTube gives you channels that they know you watch, all the channels with the Latin music, merengue, barata, whenever they come on, whenever a channel I'm watching stops, they pop one of those dance channels on. I have to jump up out of my bed and go dance. Oh, so I was telling you about, this is the last story about the helicopter pulling him over. He got a ticket doing 108. 108. Well, I'm let me just say that I used to drive 180 every day, but it was my job. It was my job. Those of you who know that my first job, and after after I got out of paralegal school, I was no undergraduate school, Howard. I was a police officer. The scout cars, the regular cars, you guys know, they're 160. You say my real auntie. Auntie, you know it's going to be a good time when you're out with auntie. The grandkids, as soon as they hear my voice, they start smiling. They know the party is on. The party is on. And uh yeah, so like 180, those were the faster cars in the precinct. I used to just go 180 up and down just to see what was going on in my precinct. But I've got all the speed. My need for speed is gone. When you're on Interstate like 95 going south, those of you on the East Coast, or going anywhere up the 101, that person that's in the right hand lane holding up traffic going 45, that's that's me now. That's me now. That would be me. I have used up all my extra lives. I'm keeping this one for real. So you guys, I would like to thank you for coming, listening to my stories. Hope you enjoyed your visit today. Thursday we will be putting this portable design wall together. Why? Because you may want to take it somewhere. You might want to teach classes with someone and you just need something lightweight and not your regular one. Pescatarian, thank you for coming. Uh-oh, one more dance. One more dance, y'all. One more dance in the house. Yes, 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 y'all. That would be me. Them strapless, backless, hussy shoes on, them heels, and dress slit from the floor to the hip. That was Auntie out there in her dancing days. You guys, Mother Egawamote, I love each and every one of you. In American Sign Language, this is an I, this is an L, this is a U. This is how you say I love you in American Sign Language. I love you guys. See you Thursday, 4 p.m.